Alright, so I've had a bit of time to play Diablo IV Season 9 and actually test out what it is that we're doing, the different heraldic spells, as well as the jewels and the new nightmare dungeons. And there's a few things that I want to point out pretty early on before I get any further. Now, I am only level 27, so don't sit here and think that I've played for 40 hours and I played the PTR and this is just my initial thoughts on everything. Going into it completely blind, and I did not play the PTR. I wanted to see full launch and get a better idea of what we were looking at. There are two key things that instantly turned me away from Season 9. First one being that this right here, so you have, the different boons and banes, etc., just like you would in a Infernal Horde run. Now, I like this. I do enjoy this. The one thing that I don't like is that these specific, once you go through this gate here, these specific Nightmare Dungeon strong rooms, I think they're called, right? Yeah, strong rooms. They are not meant for early game, really at all. So the most you're going to get to is like tier 2, 3, maybe early on, which I get. You're not supposed to obviously get max level loot immediately, but I definitely think that there are certain classes now that have a higher advantage when going into these strong rooms, and that's going to be Spiritborn. If you want to immediately go in here and wreck everything with no questions asked, don't play anything but a Spiritborn, maybe a Necro, Bloodwave Necro, but I am on my Spin to Win Rogue, as I like to call it. It is the Dance of Knives Rogue. That is my favorite spec, just because you literally just do this. That's it. This is it, no skill. And while I do, enjoy having that skill of, other classes, this one's just easy to level because you just blast through stuff normally. Now, in this Season 9, I am not doing as well as I initially thought that I would on my Spin to Win Rogue. Let's see, let's just pick one. And I'm gonna go in and show you what I'm talking about. So, again, yes, I do a decent chunk of damage. That's great. I have one of my heraldic powers already, so it's, I'm not doing terrible, right? And I like that. I'm not just getting my ass kicked in here. Now, I am talking while doing this, by the way, so this is like all in real time, so I'm sorry if it's not as like crisp and clean as I normally do things, but I just wanted to kind of give an example as I was doing it to be able to explain this a bit better. Now, again, Spin to Win Rogue, I'm not level 30 yet, so I don't have one of my major features that keeps me spinning and winning. So it is a little bit more slow paced, which is fine. I'm used to that. This is early game. 100% should not just be tearing through these and doing phenomenal. And I get that. The issue is that I also played a Spiritborn right at the beginning. And as a Spiritborn, I was getting to tier 4 and 5 of the heraldic strong room. And in this, as my rogue, the max I'm getting to is either 2 or 3. Like, as you can see, I have 36 seconds left. And I am not even at... Okay, I just hit tier 2. I'm getting stuck on the pillar. That's my fault. See, that's stupidity. That's stupidity at its finest. That was my issue. But the thing is that I'm going to get into, maybe tier 2, tier 3 for this specific strong room. I'm just going to try to pummel as much shit as I can. All right, so I'm at tier 3. That's probably all I'm going to be able to do before it ends. So let's just wait for it to end here. Again, love my Spin to Win, because now I have just like Belial's Beam or the chest cannon that we had last season. I do have my little beam still, so I love that. Oh, and then see the beam. Look how much damage that does. Isn't that cool? That's crazy. That's awesome. I do like the heraldic powers or jewels, gems, whatever. They're boss powers in a different skin. And that is the second thing that I want to talk about. So the second thing that bothers me a little bit is that even the seasonal quest line feels very similar to what we just did. And I understand that, of course, it is Blizzard and they follow a specific type of pathway when they're doing their seasons, their season journeys, and their seasonal quest lines. But there's one thing that truly bothers me here. And that is, let me see, I don't think I can pull it up here. But this is just boss powers. This is boss powers reskinned and called something else, right? So we have the infusions, there's the arcanas, and then there is the, what is the other one? There's catalysts, infusions, and arcanas. Okay. So obviously this is my best in slot, the Glacial Nimbus. I'm leveling that up. You level it up with these vials, which is cool. But again, this is just Belial's boss power, or, you know, whatever boss power that you used last season, called something else. 1 at the top and 3 at the bottom. I wish that you could maybe build them a bit differently. I know that you can craft them later on Torment 1, which is cool, that's fine. But I'm just kind of in a spot where this is very reminiscent of what we just did. I do like the different, you know, the different ones that they have here. There's a lot of very cool, you know, arcanas and powers that they have here. So don't get me wrong. Again, I haven't played very long, so this is not like a full review. This is just initial thoughts, right? Initial thoughts is that this is very reminiscent of what we literally just did last season, reskinned and called Heraldric jewels, catalysts, gems, whatever. This to me feels very redone. Now, so I'm done with this room, and then you would leave and go back to the Nightmare Dungeon, and then you would finish the Nightmare Dungeon. So the portal is right here. You go back to the dungeon, and then you would finish this part of the dungeon. So you would just go through the regular Nightmare Dungeon as you do, you know, as you would do in normal Nightmare runs, right? So this is cool, though. I do like that you can go in and you do like this little side room, and then you go back and you finish the actual dungeon. I do like that. The whole time you are earning the Heraldric knowledge, and that is what is used for the quest line. Now, just like Belial, in the last season, you earn that knowledge, and then you go back, you turn it in, you get a side quest at a certain point, and then you get the caches, you get the rewards for completing these different quests. Again, though, just instead of incursions, now we're doing Nightmare Dungeons, right? So instead of going in and doing an incursion, you are just going into these Nightmare Dungeons, finding strong rooms, and then completing the Nightmare Dungeon, rinse and repeat, to earn the Heraldric knowledge. So again, very reminiscent of what we just did in Season 8. I don't have a problem with things being repetitive. I do understand that, you know, Diablo in itself is competitive. Where am I going? I'm going the wrong way. I do understand that Diablo and ARPGs in general are repetitive. You're supposed to just keep killing, you know, shit and get to the end game, and that's fine. You know, getting better gear, pushing tiers, right? That's the end game. But why to get to the end game is everything the same? Why are we doing the same thing over and over to get to the end game too now? I understand the end game is going to be repetitive and it's going to be, you know, challenging and it takes a long time. But to get there, why are we just doing the same season over and over with a different coat of paint? That is the issue that I'm having so far. I'm not going to say it's not fun. Obviously, I'm playing it. You see my gear. I bought the season pass, which I do every season. I do enjoy the battle pass, and I like the cosmetics. This one in particular, I absolutely love. I'm getting my ass kicked. It's okay. I love the chains that hang off of this. I think that's really cool. The wings having the chain on there. I love that. I love cosmetics. I'm a transmog hoe, as I like to say. And so I definitely bought the season pass immediately, but I do that every season. So this season should not feel special in that aspect. Again, though, biggest quarrel that I have is that the truth that lies within is literally what, you know, this quest here. This is literally what we did last time. This is what we did last season. We went to different incursions over and over and over, and then back to the quest lady. Incursion, 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 quest lady, cash, you know, chest, whatever. And it is the exact same thing this season, just called something different. Again, I do understand that it's a grind. I respect the grind. I love the grind. It's why I play ARPGs. The problem is it just feels too similar instead of feeling, you know, like a standalone season. I feel like, you know, and I get that they're, you know, in the process of making a new expansion. I do understand that things are not, it's not going to be a full expansion with new quest lines and, you know, new towns or, you know, whatever the case may be. I do respect that. I've played Diablo for a very long time now, not just Diablo 4, but Diablo in general. So I do understand, like, the general rundown of how this works, right? I get it. Again, the issue for me is mostly that it just feels too similar. There's not a lot. I'm getting my ass kicked in here because I don't have my dance of knives. Let me out! I definitely just feel like it is too similar to the previous season and what we literally just did to be considered a brand new experience, per se. And again, I understand I'm not very far into it. There might be more depth. There could be more storyline. There could be, you know, different features that I just have not gotten access to yet. But even just the beginning of this kind of turns you away from wanting to even get that far because it's like, man, I'm just doing the same shit that I did last season. over, again, just called a different power this time. It's literally the same thing. It's just called something else. And I think that that is one of the biggest downfalls that comes with Diablo 4. That's where Path of Exile kind of thrives, is even when they do new seasons, they feel very, very complete. They feel different. It gives you a different feel. And this, to me, is just not a different feel. This is very reminiscent of Season 8. So, obviously, I'm going to keep playing. I'm going to get to endgame. I accidentally used both of my imbuements. That was dumb. But I am going to get to the end. I'm going to get to endgame. I'm going to, just like I did in Season 8, I'm going to attempt to push tiers. I'm going to try out more than just the Rogue and the Spiritborn. Barbarian, by the way, Barb absolutely thrashed this season. Barb was absolutely pooped on this season. They're probably gonna fix it, but as of right now, Barb is F tier. If you main a Barbarian, be prepared that you are... I have a Butcher? Oh my god. Oh, he whooping me. Oh, he's whooping me. Oh, he's whooping me. Poison and imbue, please. I did not realize that I had a Butcher. Oh, he whooping me, boy. I can do this. It's okay. Oh, yeah. Stand in that beam. Stand in that beam. Nah, no. Stand in the beam. No. Oop, nope. Poison imbue. I'm dumb. Such a habit to hit my shadow imbue. I am out of knives. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, nah. You can... Oh, ow. Stand in the beam. Stand in the beam. I'm running. I did not realize. Wow, what a what a thing to capture. Cool. I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that as a win. 9 dexterity. I ain't getting rid of no 9 dexterity. Ooh, 5 dexterity. First impression on everything. Also, look at my adorable little goat. I don't even care that I'm getting killed. Look at him. Oh, he's precious. But that is just my first impressions. Again, I am going to get to endgame. I am going to finish the seasonal questline for Season 9. I am going to... I'm lagging. I am going to, you know, complete the season before I do a full review on exactly how different it is and how I feel. I'm going to play the other classes. I'm going to really take my time with Season 9, just like I do every other season. That's just the right thing to do. You can't play for 3-4 hours in Diablo and then say, this game sucks. You can't do it. And if you try to, then... Ooh. Then you are not very good at doing reviews. Every person knows you have to at least attempt to complete the main story quest line and do like a good chunk of the content prior to sitting there and saying this game sucks. And I think that's a big thing that people forget also in this game as well, is that you are not just going to go in and wreck shit, unless you're a Spiritborn. Let me rephrase that. You're not going to go in and wreck shit instantly, and that's okay. The point of these games is to grind and do better and better and better than you did the last run, just like how we do in our pit runs. And that is okay. But I will say that so far, pretty lackluster, nothing extraordinary, nothing that would make me say like, wow, this is a great season of Diablo. There's just nothing that I've seen as of yet that really makes me feel excited to continue playing. Obviously, I do want to get to the end game and see what it has to offer. If there's any new... I obviously got to get to Astaroth, etc., right? That's a given. But I definitely think that so far, there's nothing that really has me... thrilled, excited, and like I can't wait to see what's next. There has not been anything like that thus far, and that's okay. Like I said, that's, you know, that's kind of part of this and part of the grind. But as I get up there, I will let you know what I think and what I feel after the fact. But that's gonna do it for this video. As always, if you like the video, then like the video. And if you like my content in general, then please subscribe to my channel, because it means the absolute world to me. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!